I'm just thinking, like, obviously we live in a day and age now where it's so easy to get a job online, and I feel like that's what everyone wants to do. And it's just kind of convenient for me that they're making these tools to kind of strip jobs away from people. So you never know, like maybe there's something behind it where people are actually just creating this tool to get people back into, working.
What's up, guys? Rich here. Thanks for tuning in to the TwoSix10 Podcast, where me and the boys talk about how you can use content the right way to grow and scale your business. If you find this episode useful, then please share with a fellow entrepreneur, marketer, founder, or anyone else who might also get some value from it, and let's all grow together. With that said, let's jump straight into it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like ChatGPT, it's everywhere. It's just insane. I saw, and I think we spoke about this the other day, but it was like this month, like ChatGPT is like here, and the new update that's coming out whenever, like this year sometime, it's like 10 times as much information in it. So obviously, like, it reads the internet, whatever. But the point here is, like, we think it's, because it is incredible. Like, there's no getting away from that. But like, imagine how big it's going to be when it gets to like here, and then even here, and then here. And they're going to have to start charging for it now. Like, at the minute it's free. I don't know how. I'm trying to use it at the minute, and I tried to use it. When did I try to use it last? Yesterday, I think it was, and it's happened before, and it was just like there's no chance. Like, it's overwhelmed or something. Yeah. Are you using it at all, Liam? Yeah. Have you tried? You've tried it, right?
I've tried it. Yeah. I normally I actually use it like as for fun, but I don't really use it for work tasks. Just like touching on what you said, in terms of like it being free right now, it could be troublesome, I think, if the price is maybe too high for people to afford, because you never know, like, people with a lot of money could just like abuse it, whereas people that are just starting out would just not have access to that. Yeah, also I've kind of got like a theory regarding AI, maybe get my tinfoil hat on here, but yeah, I'm just thinking, like, obviously we live in a day and age now where it's so easy to get a job online, and I feel like that's what everyone wants to do. And it's just kind of convenient for me that they're making these tools to kind of strip jobs away from people. So you never know, like, maybe there's something behind it where people are actually just creating this tool to get people back into, working 9-to-5 jobs that they don't want to do. It's a possibility. That's just something I kind of thought of in the shower.
So wait. Let me get this straight. So what you're saying, in effect, without putting words in your mouth, you reckon that AI could be what, government sort of software that they are pushing out to stop people?
Why would anyone make this tool and make it free?
That's
True.
A fact, actually.
That is
That's
very
a fact. Because this is what I've been thinking, like, for the last 3-4 weeks, because it's blown up, right? Like, we know that. But it's like, I had this conversation with Shar, my girlfriend, the other night, or my fiance now, the other night, and it was like, you cannot tell me, like, if I was in uni right now, I'd be abusing the shit out of this. Like, all my assignments, all my essays, I'd be just going ChatGPT, bang. So the fact that it's free, like, at some point, universities are going to ban it, but how can they ban it? Schools are going to ban it, but how can they ban it? So if they make it paid, then young people, in theory, without jobs, no money, no, disposable income, aren't going to be able to afford it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that, but like, it could be a theory, to be fair. I could something I could get behind. But yeah, like, why would, if they were to make it expensive, here's my theory on this, right? If they were to make it expensive, because right now it is going to strip. I don't know if it is necessarily stripping jobs away from people. I've seen and heard about a few businesses letting go of, like, their copywriters, their script writers, like their blog writers, their marketing teams, like people as a part of their marketing team, and then they're replacing them with AI and ChatGPT in particular, because it is free and it's like a lot cheaper and whatever. But like, I don't necessarily think, like, if they were to make it more expensive, the businesses would keep going the same way, but you would get people, it would separate, like, the sort of, because I know what you're saying, Liam, right? But there's going to be a lot of people who can go, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to get a job being a copywriter now. I don't have a clue how to be a copywriter, but I can just go on ChatGPT, get a job online, doing remote work, and I can write blog articles in 2 minutes and make X amount of money.
I mean,
So
I have like a kind of, I guess, theory attached to that is, like you look at it in the sense of when grocery shops, right? They always used to be all like people handling the tills. Now they've like took away so many jobs when they brought in like self checkout, and then now they even have like is it the Amazon stores now? Is it Amazon, the grocery stores, where it's literally no people working in them. So if you think of it as like someone maybe 10 years ago might have lost their job at a grocery shop. So then obviously they've not got a job because AI, I guess, has took over. And then it goes to maybe they're going to become a copywriter or writing blogs for a company. So that's their like alternative. And then now in today's age, like 2023, they're now probably going to get kicked out of a job from that because a company might be like, well, we don't really need a copywriter when I can do it myself. I could just input all this information on ChatGPT, for example. So why do I need to employ someone to actually write blogs for me? That's where I'm very still skeptical of it. Like, it's great if you're a business owner because obviously you're reducing the need for human labor. But obviously it's just, I still feel like it's just cutting down people's jobs.
Yeah, it's definitely just an enhancement tool at the minute. Like, I don't look at it right now and think that it could pose a threat to what I do or what we do. But you never know down the line. Like you said, there's an update coming. This is only like the very initial start of like the AI coming in. But I feel like every week I go online and I see new AI like features, like AI art at the moment. That's quite a big thing. But yeah, you just never know how it could actually turn out. I forgot what I was going to say about this.
It's everywhere. It's like you say, it is everywhere. And we'll touch back on your point, Liam, if you remember it, I guess. But like, I think, for me anyway, I think it's great. I really do. Like, it would be silly for us to sit here and go, because it is worrying. Like from our perspective of what we do, delivering content, and delivering. Like even now, there's, we see so many AI sort of like video editors out there as well, where they like people are just putting in their own video and it's coming up with like auto generated captions and it's pretty much giving them like a well polished video. I know of course like it lacks that human touch and they might not be able to focus on certain cuts and stuff the way we could as a human and be able to understand like emotional value in a video, but there is definitely there is a whole sort of situation surrounding certain people, and I think the people that will survive are the people who are good. Like, if you're average at what you do, whether that be content creation, video editing, copywriting, coming up with ideas, coming up with like social media structure and stuff, if you're average at doing it and you just blend in, you're going to be replaced by AI very quickly. But if you're good and you can find a way to use AI to your to help you ultimately like come up with ideas or like help get the ball rolling, or when you've got writer's block, like help generate an extra paragraph, whatever. But then you can like turn that into something even better, then you're going to be, I think people have got to view it as a tool. Like I'm seeing a lot of worry about what AI is doing right now, but I think, yeah, if you're average, you're going to be replaced. But that's the same in anything in life, right? Like there's always going to be a replacement for you.
Yeah, true. Do we think that it can fully replace people, like ever in the future? Like, let's say for example, typewriters right now, obviously it's quite a big thing for them at the moment, but do you think that there would ever be a point where people are like, there's no such thing as typewriters anymore?
100%. But like you can say this about every single industry. Tesla are bringing out cars that you can put in your address and go. So that's going to replace taxi drivers. It's going to replace Ubers, because they're going to have a company that has a bunch of these cars. They'll turn up at your door. You put in the address. They'll take you to where you want to go. But always, like anything in life, people enjoy that human experience, and people enjoy spending money. Like no matter how we look at it, like it's like a flex in a way where it's like, oh, well, I actually got a driver. Like why do celebrities get a fucking, like why do they have a chauffeur, right, or something, right, like in a limo, as opposed to just getting an Uber or a taxi? Because not that they want to flex or whatever, but they enjoy having that luxury experience. I think the same will be said for AI in the future. It's like, I have a copywriter. Oh my God, you have a copywriter? Yeah, I've only got the computer that I just type in an idea and it gives me this. And it's like, there's 10,000 businesses pretty much getting the same thing. So it's that same element of like, if you want an extended service and you want to pay more for that service, again, you're going to have to be very good to be not replaced. You're going to have to be like really talented. There's not going to be the same demand for 1,000,001 copywriters as it was 5 years ago in 5 years' time. But the ones who are good and the ones who do keep going through it are going to be paid very well because, like I say, it's going to be a luxury item of, this guy turns up, I'll have my copywriter run up this for you. And I'm like, wow, you've got a copywriter. It's like a status thing, right? Like anything in life. Like, why do we buy designer handbags? I don't, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I personally don't think that you can replace the human touch, I guess you can say. I don't think, anyway. I feel like if you're, like, for example, if you're writing a blog yourself, you can give that kind of the human touch to it and obviously expressing your opinion freely, whereas like an AI could easily, I don't know, maybe create like fake stories, fake news, or a very one-sided opinion to it, because obviously it's going off of all the research and data that it finds through the internet. So yeah, I feel like the human touch would always be the same with like our business, video editing. You can easily put in like your raw videos into some kind of software and it creates a very quick, simple video, but it's about like connecting to the people that are watching it, which is humans.
True. What do you think, Liam? Do you think AI can replace humans?
It depends what industry. I definitely don't think they could replace video editors, which I know is like a new thing that's coming in where people are getting AI to cut their videos. I think like you said the other day, will the AI know when looking at like multiple takes of a video? Will it know which one's like the one to use, which is the best take? I don't think for any time in the foreseeable future it'll get to that level. And also like you say, obviously people connect to humans, so like they can have all the research and all the facts, but I think like the most interesting thing about watching content and learning about things is like connecting to a person's opinion and their outlook on things, which you'll never get from AI. So yeah, definitely.
I agree. I think though, like the positives are far outweigh the negatives. Like, let's be honest. Like, I think, yeah, like anything in life, you just got to find a way to adapt. And I think it's worrying from like a freelancer's perspective, as in like a, copywriter, as you mentioned there. But like AI, it's not like a new thing. ChatGPT and ChatGPT, I think, is a year old now, like this week, I think. So it is relatively new, but in terms of like AI, we've been using it for years, like with everything. Like you said, Scott, like Amazon stores, for example, that's not exactly new. It's just getting more popular. But again, people like to go into a shop and go, hey, where is this? Or like, where is that? And, it's actually funny, when I was living in London last year, just around the corner from me, there was an Amazon store and a Tesco Express right beside each other, right next door, equal walk. Every single time I'd go into the Amazon, like I barely ever went into the Amazon store, maybe once or twice. But next door, Tesco Express was always like heaving, like absolutely heaving. Amazon store, nearly empty pretty much every time. In fact, sometimes I'd walk by on a Saturday in particular and there's a guy stood outside giving away free apples to try and get you inside. Like, he's just giving it, and I'm like, why are you giving me this? And he's like, it's just free apple. And I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, in the hope that maybe you come in and buy something. I was like, okay, cool. But Tesco Express they've got a homeless guy outside trying to take money from you and you're still going in. Like, the difference. And you ask why that is, and the point is, like, I don't really know why, to be honest, but at least, I mean, it's more familiar. So I think in the traditional sense of the word, like as a business, AI is there and it's an option and people will definitely use it and they should be using it. But I don't know, it still requires work as well. That's the thing. Like, if you hand over a task and you need something done and you get, your assistant, someone in the team to go and do it, and you outsource that manually and it's going to get done, and you can talk to them about it, as opposed to like, okay, I've got a huge amount of like blogs to write, for example, but I've now got to go through AI. Like, a lot of business owners and a lot of founders, a lot of leads of teams still don't have the time to go and do that work themselves, hence why they've got that employee. So I don't think it's going to take a huge amount of jobs, if I'm honest. Again, it's just going to demand for a better skill set, I think, which is a good thing as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, just to touch on that as well. Like you were saying, like people don't have the time to put into just this. Obviously, it requires work as well. I was just thinking, like we do a lot of our clients as well. It's really important when you're creating content and you're trying to brand your business and stuff, is to have a team of people that can like give you feedback on things that are working and isn't working. And I don't think like if you pay for an AI tool, it will like dramatically decrease your workload, but it's not gonna give you advice on where you need to improve. So just yeah. What do you think?
This is no, it's such a great point. It's such a great point, you know, like especially again in our sort of like line of work, not only just in-house stuff, as in like, oh, what's this workflow like, or you know, what can we do here, blah blah blah. But like in terms of actual, right, so say for example, a whole content creation process. So you started up a business and you go, right, I need to come up with ideas, come up with a strategy, and then I need to script these ideas, turn these ideas into life, make a script, and then you can't get AI to record for you, right? So you're going to have to go and record that content. Then you can edit it. I guess you can take that content and put it into an AI editor. You'll get okay content. Like we've said that before, but then you go and post it. You have to do that yourself. You can come up with titles and tags from AI. Great. Now, say in 6 months' time, so you're keeping this to a very small budget, but in 6 months' time, a year's time, you're putting all this time and effort in. We know firsthand time is sometimes more valuable than money anyway, and especially when you're trying to run a business or, you know, do anything like that. And then it doesn't work. Like, who do you turn to? You've got no human element. You've never done it before. You can't ask AI, why is this video not working, or why is it not performing well? Maybe in time you could, but right now that's not an option. So from our perspective, you know, that like it's going to take a long time. I don't think that'll ever be the case, if I'm honest. Like, you know, to get to that expert level of being able to look at something and be, right, it's not working because X, Y, Z. Yeah. Thoughts, Scott? Do you agree or?
Yeah, no, I agree. I just feel like the main thing for a business to take away from AI is just that it's not a replacement. It's just something that could cut down times on things. I think that's the best way for it. Don't think that you could just offload half your team members and just start taking on this for yourself, because like you said, it still takes up time to have to go and do these tasks, and you still need the team to offer the feedback. So yeah, I think just don't think that it's a replacement for your team. Like, absolutely not.
No, I agree. Interesting. No, I think the biggest interesting talking point here is, and I might do a whole episode on this, is does the government run AI? I'd be interested to know which government you think it is, Leo.
I don't know. All of them.
All of them. They're all in it together.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. The Matrix.
They're saying that,
the
though,
Matrix
like,
is controlling AI.
Yeah, the Matrix. Like it could easily be manipulated, right? Like, even imagine, for example, like, I mean, I don't read newspapers, but people still buy them. But imagine, like, you just take out the whole team that writes the newspapers and just replace it with AI. It'd be absolutely controlled to what, like, people are reading. Like, it'd be all for the government, all for anyone they want it to be for.
I mean, it is already, but like,
yeah, it'd be even more.
Yeah, that's a fact. No, that's a really like good take. I think I had a really good point here, but like, actually a really good question. In fact, so let's say it is, okay, it can get hacked, right? Because it's a computer database. Like, so even if it's not from the government, it can get hacked at some point. So, like, copyright is a huge thing, of course. So you imagine, like, it is doing that, but say this goes the way we think, or people are talking like, oh, Apple, Twitter, Google, like all of these, because there's even talk about taking over Google, right? So all these companies at some point will adapt AI. They're already doing it, like we said. But who's to say that they don't get hacked? Put out these articles /blogs /whatever they need to do, and it is all fully copyrighted, whatever. And then there's just loads of lawsuits that follow. And then that could signify the end for AI. Like, so there is that obviously element as well, because ChatGPT isn't going to take responsibility, because at the end of the day, they still post it on their site. Yeah, who knows? But we'll start to see like loads of books and stuff being written now, like from, you know, like we saw even that, like, not to touch on, it's too political probably, but even like Harry's book last week, and there was loads of stuff in it that probably, like, you know, shouldn't have been in it. I've not read it, but like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like ChatGPT. They just wrote that. He just went on, write me a book. My name is, yeah.
The next series of Harry Potter will definitely be AI written.
Yeah, for sure.